Welcome to the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament. This is Middle-earth Madness. Yes, welcome back to the Chamber of Death for the first night of the Fell Four. How we doing out there, Injun Chief and Patty Man?
Doing good. Looking forward.
Everything's as good as it can be with us. Eliminated from the Fantasy League.
Yeah. I'm impartial now.
Yeah, you guys are Switzerland like me.
Exactly.
Yes, I guess that makes us all impartial. We're all Switzerland.
Yeah, or who's the neutral country because they already lost? That's the analog we need. I guess we'll be neutral because now we're out.
Vichy France.
Vichy France.
Vichy France, maybe.
There you go. Common language with Switzerland anyway. But yeah, so good segue there. Well, let's go to the bracket real fast so people know whence we came. So yeah, you guys can see tonight, obviously, we are starting the Fell Four, and those right there are our two fights. There's only 3 fights left in this thing, guys. We're wrapping it up. But
it went by super fast.
Super fast, yeah. And so there's our 2 fights for tonight. First one, we have Gandalf against the wily, upset-minded farmer Maggot. Then we will finish off the night with Smaug against Elrond. Our winners here punching their ticket for the championship fight. 1 fight to find out who is our champion of the Third Age. So, with that, on the side, if you haven't joined us for previous streams, another layer we are doing is our Middle-earth Madness Fantasy League. Now, it's exactly what it sounds like, but for those of you unfamiliar with what fantasy leagues are, if you haven't played, like a fantasy football sort of situation or fantasy soccer, fantasy any sport, right? We have all drafted rosters of Lord of the Rings characters, as you can see here. And your characters score points by winning fights. Dead easy, right? The further you go round by round in this tournament, the more valuable your wins are. Tonight's wins will be worth 50 points.
Plus more if they're upsets.
Plus, correct. And we have upsets on top of that, which are the C differential between the 2 characters and the round that we're playing in, rounds 1 through 6. We're in round 5 tonight, so that'll be a 5 multiplier. So we'll see what happens there. That'll matter most, of course, in the Farmer Maggot fight. No other character is really going to be helped too much by that because it's a 2 seed on a 2 seed on the other side of the bracket, so no multiplier. So yeah, with that, I can show you who's leading real fast, and that would be Chucky. He's still got 1 character. Trip myself up there. Maggot's actually slain. I'm sorry, Radagast is actually slain. Let us modify this real fast. Yep, so Chucky has 1 character left as well. And that would be Farmer Maggot.
And he has 315 points, which is a sizable lead.
Yeah, and he's got 315, which is the number to keep an eye on. Campy is the main challenger at this point because he has Gandalf and Smaug still left in the fight. So that's fail. Josh still has Elrond, so he could score more points to add to 140, although he has been mathematically eliminated. Too little, too late for Elrond, but for morale points or bragging rights, he can still jump from whatever he's in, 4th up a few spots, perhaps. But Engine Chief, tell us here. I'll pull up a different graphic here, and tell us, how Campy's odds are looking here as we welcome Campy. Speak of the devil to the chamber of death. He can go mic on whenever he wants, no worries. But Campy, we are just about to show the odds here. Engine Chief, how are these odds looking to you? Tell us a little more about what Campy's chances are to pull the upset here against Chucky in our fantasy league.
I wish I had sent you a better graphic than this. This is a graphic showing what happens if Elrond wins. But basically, actually, this is from last week. This isn't even the correct graphic.
Oh, okay. Well, let's ignore the graphic then.
Before. Yeah, ignore the graphic. So basically, Campy, isn't that true? We worked it out that you have to win both fights tonight to stay alive, right?
I do. I have to win both, and if I don't win both, then and Gandalf takes the cake, I lose by 1 point.
Yeah. So, in other words, if Gandalf loses, Farmer Maggot earns 1,000,000 points, and that sews it up for Chucky, who already has the lead and owns Farmer Maggot. On the other hand, if Gandalf goes all the way, but here we are. Yeah, here's a great example. If Gandalf goes all the way, but Smaug loses tonight to Elrond, Campy earns 314 points.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chucky already has 315 means he loses by 1.
By 1 point.
By 1 point. So, Elrond ends up being a wingman for Chucky tonight.
Yeah.
Josh could, get out of 5th place and get up to 2nd, so he might want to win those games. But yeah, Campy's in the weird position of having to win both, but he's got roughly a 50-50 shot in the second battle, and he should have very high odds in the first battle, although every time we say that, Farmer Maggot surprises us.
I know. Yeah.
So his combined odds are about 38%.
38% against Chucky's odds
62.
are 62. Yep.
Yeah.
By process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Well, that's a little glimpse at our skin in the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a lot of fun with this fantasy league, and really the reason we're doing it, besides just having fun, which is what we like to do here in the Chamber of Death, among other things, is it's a proof of concept for a product that we are building for you guys to hopefully play yourselves and have fun too. So stay tuned to whatever platform you like following. We're on all of them. Put up the little ticker here. This is just to stay informed, and we will let you know which of these is coming next. We got some decision making to do, some money decisions behind the scenes to make, because developing games costs money, believe it or not, and not an insignificant amount of time. So we ask your patience, and good things are coming. So yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow on whatever platforms you prefer, and we will get you the good word. And with that, let us turn to our first fight of the night, shall we? It is making it as suspenseful as possible here, not on purpose. Gandalf against Farmer Maggot.
Can I score 2 bonus points if I pick this outcome correctly?
2 bonus points would change life.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, two might give you the victory if what Engine Chief said is maybe the most likely outcome. Maybe not the most likely, but one of the likely outcomes. And you lose by 1. Yeah, it'd be nice to avoid that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so lore-wise, look, not a lot to say here. It's freaking Gandalf. He's a Maiar. He's an Istari wizard of the White Council. He dethroned Saruman on said council when Saruman went renegade, and he changed his color from gray to white, as we know, and at the end of the Two Towers book, right? He's a beast. He's a heavy hitter. Enough said. Farmer Maggot, on the other hand, the upset bid of the tournament underway, and when we added this character by, you guys' popular demand, we and thank you for submitting your feedback in April. After our first tournament, we came back to you guys and said, okay, if we're doing an all third age, which are the more familiar characters, right? All third age tournament. Who do you guys want to see that wasn't in our March tournament, our Ultimate Tolkien tournament? Because that, if you recall, was second and first age characters as well. So it was an all-out throwdown, big heavy hitting Maiar like Gothmog and Eärnwë, Maiar from the first stage against, all the pipsqueaks characters like the Hobbits and everyone. So huge talent differential in that. Third age, a lot more familiar, a lot more comfortable, a lot more predictable. And then what happens? Well, Farmer Maggot, as a 10 seed, makes the most unlikely run imaginable, which is making a little more sense as we look at, just how fell his ranged attack is with the help of those three dogs, Grip, Fang, and Wolf, have been bailing him out of fights. It's a powerful ranged attack combined with some hobbit wiliness, some elusiveness, which helps him avoid attacks as a defensive stat. So, here's Farmer Maggot in the Fell 4. Can he extend his lucky streak tonight against Gandalf?
Nope.
Initial takes from you guys.
Nope.
How can
He's
you
undefeated.
not
He can do
want
it.
him to win? Yeah, he's gonna win. He has to
You
win.
can want whatever you want, dude. We saw this in the
Yeah.
we saw this in the March tournament. Is anybody who has a great ranged attack, whether they be Elvish Bowman or whatever else, pull upsets here and there. I mean,
They do.
if their hits hit, they hit, and it's like a 3-point shooting team in basketball.
100%.
So, but they don't tend to go all the way through the tournament because they're kind of one-dimensional, and
yeah.
they're going to have an off night eventually, and I think he has his off night against Gandalf.
Yeah, and to that point, we did do behind the scenes. We did do a sanity check, and we simulated. Engine Chief, you simulated somewhere like 1,000 battles just to make sure, because Maggot slew Sauron, and we were all kind of thinking, wait a second, we don't want there to be a bug with the battle engine, and there's not. We checked that. We did a sanity check, and what was the number out of 1,000 fights where Sauron won?
Sauron won 958 out of 1,000, so it's
There you go.
96%. And not only did Farmer Maggot win the other night, but he went in such a strange way.
Yeah.
He just had hit after hit after hit on Sauron. None of them were that remarkable, but eventually wore him down and beat him, and Sauron did nothing.
Yep. So look, that's what I love about the battle engine, frankly, is you are never out of the fight. And guess what, guys? For any haters, not that we really had any, but a couple comments like, what? Oh, that could never happen. Blah, 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 blah. Of course. We agree it should never happen. But never is an unknown word if you really are a fan of Tolkien, because upsets happen.
Hater alert! Hater alert! Hater alert!
There you go. Yeah. Upsets happen all the time. Eowyn, Merry, go back to the first
They're
stage.
multi-grain, you know.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh, racist.
Yeah. All the time. Is that you, Chucky? How you doing, man?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to operate. Yeah,
All good.
I'm here. But yeah, lots going on. Hey, what's up?
So anyway, Farmer Maggot's in the Fell 4. That's what's up. And you know that well,
Yep,
having
yep.
him on your fantasy team.
Indeed. Yeah,
So
it
he's
is-
gonna
it
get-
is a miracle.
He's going to get splattered here in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Engine Chief already calling it. But as we look at the actual numbers that will power this fight, what stands out here? Well, green line Mithrandir, blue line Maggot here on the graph. If you're more of a numbers person, just have a look over here at the table. Same thing, same numbers. The red bars here, table or graph, if you're new to this, are the differentials. So the biggest differential here is magic, unsurprisingly. You got a wizard going against a hobbit. That's like an 80-point differential. So that'll play to Gandalf's favor, except if you look at the top line here, both characters are going to prefer ranged combat here. Okay? Maggot's going to use his woofs. He's going to dance with the chick that brought him, which is his 3 woofs, so to speak. Gripfang and Wolf use that range attack and try to dodge and try to not engage in melee. Gandalf also gonna hang back, use his staff in the Flame of Arnor, cast spells. And so what that does, and okay, so 13% of the time though, if you look here, 87% they're gonna use these preferred attacks, both ranged. 13%, however, they'll use melee, or they'll be forced to use melee, and Gandalf's melee is way stronger than Maggot's. So Gandalf's got Glamdring, Maggot's got the Bam Furlong pitchfork from his farm. Yeah, no contest. But for most of the fight, 87% of the fight, it's going to be these numbers here. It's going to be accuracy, and the two are pretty even, 74 and 73. That determines how many of your ranged attacks will hit compared to the other character's dexterity, okay? So you got to look at Gandalf's 74 versus, again, Maggot's 78. He's going to dodge a fair amount of these. That's pretty even, okay? But then you look at Maggot's accuracy, 73, against Mithrandir's dexterity, 63. Looks like he'll land more blows than Gandalf. But that's just landing blows. The next layer is how much damage can you inflict with your blows, and that's piercing and deflection.
I'm sorry, but Manus Meister, you use the word damage, and that's not the correct word. Piercing is the word you're after.
But what does piercing do? Is what I'm trying to tell people.
It gets through any armor and does some damage, but it doesn't tell the amount of damage. It tells the likelihood of damage.
Correct. Okay, so the damage isn't the wrong word. It's the likelihood is what I was missing.
The likelihood that you do any damage, or as opposed to just glancing off armor or something.
Right. And so the real reminder is here, what we should be looking at. So piercing, how much damage is going to be caused by a successful shot? Right. And then, Engine Chief, what you are saying is in the last phase of battle where you have these Tink, Slight Smite on the far right of this flowchart, heavily hewn. Those numbers are determined by a blend of skills. Right, Engine Chief?
Yes.
So you have to also look at the spirit. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they're the amount of damage.
Mm-hmm. Amount of damage, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so look at, and this is where some of Gandalf's skills will come in handy. Not just handy, but, these differentials we'll see could really favor Gandalf in the amount of damage he's able to inflict. But again,
there we go.
The first layer of that is Gandalf's piercing, 80, against Maggot's deflection, only 41. That's a big advantage there. So when he does land a ranged attack, it will damage. And then you proceed to the question of how much.
There we go. That's
Whereas Maggot has an 85 piercing, but look, Gandalf has a deflection of 84. So that washes out a lot of his Gripfang and Wolf piercing strength. Which overall is why Engine Chief's saying the party ends for Maggot tonight. Because Gandalf's got a lot of advantages here. He's a heavy hitter.
Side bet that Maggot avoids more hits.
Yeah, I don't think Mithrandir's as good as Sauron, and where's Sauron now? He's buried in Farmer Maggot's farm. It's fertilizing the mushrooms.
Yes.
So yeah, my bet is that the secret sauce here for for Maggot is this piercing of 85, and I think it's gonna be the one stat that just overrides all the benefits Mithrandir's supposed to have.
Interesting. Okay. So we have two competing theories here, predictions actually. Patty Man, you want a word?
Looking at the evidence, you can't dispute that he should smash Farmer Maggot for sure. But at this point, I just can't help but root for Farmer Maggot.
Fair.
Gandalf Mithrandir should explode him pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like you said, the piercing is super
But we're all-
strong. We've all kind of underestimated the piercing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like when you're dating a chick who should. Never mind. I don't know if Campy's kids are listening. Piercings and stuff. Let us go
there's
ahead
a
and
pun
proceed
there,
to the
but we'll
fight
skip-
before
We'll skip right
I say
over that
something I
pun.
regret. Well then, let us fight. In the first fight of the Fell Four, we have Mithrandir against Farmer Maggot for a trip to the championship. Let us fight. First attack to Farmer Maggot engages, cannot hit. Mithrandir comes back, hits, fails to penetrate with the flame of Arnor. Farmer Maggot's turn. Can he sick the hounds on Gandalf? He hits, he wounds, teek! Mostly deflected by the wizard. Gandalf counters. Hits, wounds, teek! With the flame of Arnor, excuse me. Again, mostly deflected though. Pretty even fight through 4 rounds. Farmer Maggot takes the initiative and attacks. He hits, he wounds! Again, minor damage, teek! Gandalf counters. A hit and a wound! Slight smite for 37 with the flame of Arnor. And in the 6th round, he takes the bristly East Farthing landowner and dog owner down to 61 points. Can Farmer Maggot stay in it? He attacks. He misses. Gandalf comes back. Hits and wounds again! Slight smite! And just like that, with inside of 10 rounds, Farmer Maggot's having a tough time. But you are never out of the fight. Especially if you are a hobbit with Stour heritage, one of the river folk of old, just like Smeagol. Perhaps he will prove sneaky. He counters. He hits. He doesn't wound. Gandalf comes back. Hits. Wounds. Is it enough? Slight smite. Down to the very brink of death, and Gandalf must have heard us talking, for he is dominating this duel.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? Did Farmer Maggot score a death?
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Is it even possible?
Oh, it's possible.
Oh,
We've seen
oh,
those
we've
death
seen it.
strokes.
We've seen it.
Farmer Maggot rises, brushes himself off, summons his trusty hounds, and hits, but no damage. Gandalf counters. Hits, wounds, slain. A beatdown by the Stormcrow.
Halfway there.
So, yeah, good
Yeah,
call
a
on
lot
that
less
one.
than halfway.
Engine
'cause that
chief.
was the. Yeah. But Campy can't count his blessings because that one was the easy part. Its next battle is a coin flip.
Man, great run by
Fails.
Farmer Maggot.
Fails.
Let's just take him. Let's just take a second to game honors game. Farmer Maggot, freaking 10 seed, all the way to the final 4, where he is ultimately slain by Mithrandir. Little victory lap for not a victory lap because he just lost, but little taking of a bow for the East Farthing farmer. Bye bye. Let's give Campy his fantasy point, shall we?
Please do it.
All right. Can you guys see this, or do I need to zoom in? Let's see.
I'm
Gandalf.
applauding for Campy for this wisdom choice of Gandalf. You probably can't hear me because I'm only applauding with one hand, so it doesn't make a lot of noise.
Yeah. You can always smack yourself in the face. So 50 points to Campy. That brings him to 254. Still a fair ways back of Chucky's 315 in the Middle-earth Madness Fantasy League, which you will join next year, viewers, if you prefer. It's going to be fun. Okay, so where are we at? We got the points. Oh, yeah, so Maggot, RIP. Something we expected to do much earlier than this is eliminate the good farmer. And with that, all of Chucky's fantasy mans are slain. But it might not matter because he stacked up so many points that he's still in the lead, as established earlier in the show. So, next fight is, wait for it, Smaug against Elrond. Panelists, weigh in here. What say you on this fight?
At some point along in some earlier stream, and sorry I had to be on mute for a second, but in some point on an earlier stream, I think I said that Smaug was going to win the whole thing. I'll go back and listen to what episode that was in. Randomly, I just felt that. So, yeah. Let's go Smaug. There's never any evil people in the championship, or at least not last tournament, so... And I don't like elves, you know.
Yeah. If you were with us in the last tournament or earlier in this tournament, you know Chucky is a little bit elfist. That's okay though. That's okay. We're politically incorrect up here in the chamber.
So
all good.
So I'll say two things. One is my prediction for the tournament was that a 1 seed wouldn't win it, and Gandalf is in the final. So I need whoever this is to go on and take down Gandalf to make my prediction come true.
Yes.
So
from a fantasy point of view, this is the tournament right here.
Yep.
Smaug gets his revenge on Gandalf for all the bullshit in The Hobbit.
There you go. Quite possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sicking those dwarves on him.
If that happens, Campy wins the fantasy league, though, Chucky. You don't want to be saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you were just going over the math, but I wasn't able to pay attention.
Well, it's very simple now.
Okay,
this
never
game-
mind.
this game-
I'm reversed Elphys now.
Go Elrond.
He's only half an elf. You can deal with it, right?
Yeah, Elrond gets a pass.
That's like saying someone's half pregnant.
It is.
You mean, isn't he mixed race, you guys? No, he's just half pregnant. He's mostly elf. Actually, to be fair, look, he did make a call on that, right? That's that was the gift of all those victors in the first stage before.
Wait,
Numenor
who made a
was
call
made.
on what?
Elrond made a call. Literally, he decided when the Valar gave him the choice, his house, because of the lineage of Luthien being, a daughter of angels, being a daughter of a Maiar herself, Melian's daughter. When the first elf married the first Maiar and then later married Mans. So really, you got to look at the half-elvens as Maiar, elf, human, schmiggly-bligs, right? So they were given, after the War of Wrath, they were given by the Valar a choice in the matter. Elros chose to be a man, and he was the first king of Numenor. That was Elrond's brother. Elrond did choose to be an elf. So I think that's actually a good take that, yes, he's half-elven, and his house is called half-elven, right? But he chose to be an elf, and for all intents and purposes, he is one.
Smaug identifies as a gerbil.
I was going to say, you're saying Elrond identifies as an elf? Where's this
Yeah,
going?
I guess in today's parlance, I guess that's how you put it. Yeah. Yeah, he totally identifies as never mind. I don't know. Yeah. There are children present here. So yeah, here's our next fight. I've got it queued up in the battle engine. So let's take a look at the actual numbers. Yeah. Ooh, man, this one's a little more herky-jerky.
Yeah, this one's everywhere.
So green line Smaug, Elrond, blue line. What stands out here, guys?
The preferred weapon's only going to be used 65% of the time.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's unusual.
Okay, that advantage is Smaug, you got to think. I mean, because he's still got a nasty melee attack. Let's see, ferocity. Oh shit, I'm looking at Elrond. Okay, yeah, Smaug. When he does use melee, ferocity's 93, valor's 90,
That piercing.
king's 86, his armor's 87. Dude, yeah, I don't know. So he still prefers range. I mean, because it's dragon fire at the end of the day. Of course, you're going to prefer ranged. 91 piercing, if with the dragon fire.
That dragon fire is nasty.
Yes,
And there's no deflection for Elrond, so
Good
that's
point,
a terrible
66.
matchup.
Yeah, but Elrond's much more elusive. So if it comes to the melee style attack, and I don't know what agility impacts. I guess it's a third of that same equation to a degree. But
your ability to engage on offense.
yeah, so it's one of those things where Smaug may take more of a beating, hit his opponent less often, but when he does, do more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in the previous fights, he just chunked away at everybody's health. Every time
Smaug did?
Yeah, Smaug would always take a big chunk out. Might not hit every time, but yeah, it's chunky.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so I have a question. Looking at the third of the last sentence there, it says odds makers give favorable odds to Smaug. We've been seeing odds makers give slightly favorable odds to somebody or other. It's been a long time since we've heard odds makers give favorable. That means more than a little. Have we been
Yeah.
tracking this? Have you guys been reading
Oh.
this? Does that come out true very often? I mean, not
I mean, I
counting Farmer
do-
Maggot.
I wouldn't say tracking it, but yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even know that was a difference to be looked at.
Yeah, it's some of the cross multiplication that Adam keeps pointing at.
Exactly.
Is kind of goes into a little formula that we built that it's in the neighborhood of the truth. I'm not sure I would bet my house on it. In fact, I'm not sure I bet Adam's house on it.
Yeah.
But it does something that's in the vicinity of the truth, and I always look at that.
Yeah. Look, if nothing else, because if you look at the overall talents, it can be a little misleading. And these two are very even on overall talents, about 20 apart. That's pretty close. But if it's really the it's the matchup stuff that matters, right? Because that's
Right.
what's gonna do damage at the end of the day.
Those numbers you just pointed at are a good predictor of how they would do against hundreds of other different opponents.
Right.
Like if you played a regular season where everybody played everybody, those numbers would predict that fairly well. Okay.
Right.
But
yeah.
that doesn't really matter in a head-to-head face-off. If you can't defend against what the other guy does, you're in trouble.
Indeed. Well, Campy, I'll let you call this one first since you need the answer to be Smaug. Are you feeling it for your guy? I kind of am more than when we went into this one, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting. I guess all we can hope for now is a good matchup, So I'll go from there. Yeah, I mean, I obviously want Smaug to win, and I want Elrond to regret being half and half.
You have chosen poorly, elf.
I'm not sure I could sit through it if it happens. I mean, Chucky took the lead in this fantasy lead from the beginning, has led all the way, and then he would be defeated in the very last fight. Ouch.
Choke.
Painful.
That's
Wait,
going to-
but let me think.
that's gonna leave a mark.
Because if it's Smaug and Gandalf in the finals, then Campy wins this thing regardless. So this is the fight.
This is it right here.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who was it that Durin's Bane lost to?
Well, we can check easy enough. I don't
Because
know.
I had a 2 seed. My plan was to kind of stack up a roster that could generate points, but then also get somebody to the final 4. That's where I was. It was Radagast, so it was my own guy. That's right.
Yeah.
God darn it! And then Radagast lost to who? And Durin's Bane could have beat Elrond. That's annoying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where it went wrong for me, but it's fine.
Could still go right. Let's see.
So yeah, and note for future, what we should do is 2 parts. After we draft, we should do a bracket prediction and have points that are based on the bracket prediction, so you're never out of the
I
fight.
thought of that. I like that. I like that too. Yeah, that's a neat way to blend the March style tournament that we did with this, what we've done here.
Yeah, well, then it gives everybody a fighting chance and engage to the end. So this wouldn't be the end all be all. If they had the final fight picked out, they could get extra points.
Dude, I like it. I like it. Good idea. All right, Patty Man, do you call this one? Who you got, man?
I gotta go Smaug. I think that piercing is just too high.
Sorry, I didn't have it up. Yeah. Okay, Smaug. Gotcha.
Piercing has been my bane. Like every character had higher piercing than me, I always lost. So Smaug is gonna take this one.
91 is about as good at piercing as you could possibly get.
You're just mad at my characters.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think we ever fought. To be
I don't
honest.
think so. No, it was more me, Haunty.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a bloodbath, and now we're.
I think of all the people, I think I went up against Engine Chief the most.
Yeah.
Maybe so. It seems like it.
He wrecked me.
Yes. Well, you guys can lament these facts in the halls of the slain.
Yeah, well, Smaug might be good at piercing, but you know, Elrond is good at fisting.
Yeah. Currently, judging by his picture, and with that, shall we fight?
Fist the lizard in the butt.
Let us fight. In the second Fell 4 fight, we have Smaug against Elrond for a trip to the championship. Let us fight! First attack, Dragonfire by Smaug. Actually, no. He's forced to use his less favorable weapon, the Claws, and he cannot engage. Now Elrond comes back. He hits and wounds! Tink! Off the dragon's armor with the Ring Vilya. Now Smaug counters. He uses Iron Claws again. So far, Elrond doing a good job to force the dragon into melee. We said in the pregame, what was the percentage? About 20% of the time they'll be 40% of the time they'll be forced to do this, right?
Yeah, 65-35, yep.
Okay. Elrond seizes the initiative and attacks. He engages but cannot hit. The dragon comes back. Can't even engage the wily elf. Elrond counters. Engages, cannot hit. Smaug comes back. Engages, cannot wound. And they're dancing a little bit early. Back and forth they go. Through 10 rounds, a hit and a wound by Elrond. Very minimal damage with the Ring Vilya. Now, can Smaug do some damage in the 11th round? He engages with his Iron Claws again. Cannot hit. Elrond counters.
Smaug will eventually do big damage, so Elrond, you need to step on it.
Yes. He was forced to use his sword of Imladris there. Cannot hit. Smaug comes back. Attacks.
Use the
Hits. Wounds. Tink. Elrond uses his ring perhaps to deflect the dragon fire. But can he damage the beast? He misses. Smaug counters. Engages, cannot hit. Elrond comes back. Engages, cannot hit. A hit and a wound by Smaug. Minimal damage. And through 17 rounds, it's very even.
First
Elrond.
quarter is over. Tie ball game.
Yeah, tie ball game. Nothing by Elrond. Smaug comes back. He hits and wounds. A gaping slash heavily hewn.
No.
Burning the elf lord to a crisp. But he is not yet slain, merely blackened. He picks himself up,
A black
dusts
elf.
himself off, and brandishes his ring.
Yeah,
He
they
hits,
just-
he wounds a slight
Oh.
smite to the beast with elven magic.
There was your shot. You missed. You didn't do enough.
Didn't do enough damage. And now the
Nope.
dragon in the 21st round. Can he kill the Lord of Imladris? He hits, he wounds, slight smite, slay!
Dang.
And Smaug vanquishes Elrond. And Cappy wins the Fantasy League.
It just
Unreal.
feels 15% odds last night before fight started.
Unbelievable.
I hate to see it. After that Farmer Maggot performance.
Unglaublich.
Hey. It's all good. Good job, Campy.
Unreal, man.
What happens if my guys slay each other at the exact same time tomorrow?
Does not matter. Or as Adam would say, it matters not.
It matters not. He is
It
your
matters
king.
not.
I hate to sound like a homer, like I'm just gonna quit as soon as my guy loses, but I really do have to go. I love you all.
No worries, man.
Hey,
Bye.
I'll tell you what, though, the hot
Adios.
sauce was fire tonight. Had it on some more food.
Oh yay! Which one?
It was the habanero, the Texas Tango.
Yes, I'm making more of that like very
Yeah.
soon.
It was
I had
great.
requests.
I had it last night and again tonight.
Awesome.
That's a fantasy championship that Chucky can never lose.
That's
oh,
right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
For
that was
those of you,
dragged.
Adam, you should flash something up because there's people joining who don't know what we're talking about.
All right, momentarily. Yes, so what you're looking at now. Oh, there you go, Chucky. Yes. D-Lab, our sponsor, our first sponsor. We got D-Lab hot sauce in the house. Tons of freaking delicious flavors. Chucky, you want to say a couple words?
Yeah, the website's slightly outdated with the menu, so hit up all the socials, Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Hit the follow, like, all that. And stay tuned. Got a lot of peppers growing right now, so
For sure.
more to come, but obviously got a lot of the staple sauces that are ready to go. So
Yeah, take my money.
yeah, absolutely.
The way I would put it, honestly, is as a fan, is if you like hot sauce with not only heat but like layers of flavor. I mean, this isn't just vinegar with some kick like Tabasco.
Right.
This is layers of interesting, and every one of them is different. Like you get a little sweetness in one, a little smokiness in another, a little, what's that hoity-toity word that
Savory.
umami stuff and crap. But it's good. It's good sauce, man.
Well, appreciate it. Y'all are the best. I have a 4-day-old baby, so I'm gonna go tend to things. But yeah, I'll be giving her some of the sauce very soon, and y'all
Careful.
keep eating it. Love you.
You too, man.
And
Take
good
care.
job, Campy. Awesome stuff. Can't wait for the next tournament. All of y'all.
Hell yes.
All right. Thank you.
See you, man.
So there you have it. We got a little hot sauce in the house. He needs to make. a Smaug version in honor of our potential champion here, doesn't he? The Breath of Smaug. How would that sell? Is that pitchable?
Yeah.
If you don't get sued, sounds great.
Yeah.
You just spell Smaug wrong, and you're fine.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a final championship matchup here. It is going to
When
be
does that happen?
against Smaug tomorrow night for all the marbles. It's been a cool bracket, man. Tomorrow night in the pregame, we'll do a little intro of how we got here. But for tonight, here we are. And from our panelists, any last words? Or from our viewers, guys, drop a comment. We see you out there.
I just had a lot of fun. Win or lose.
Oh, yeah. Well said, Patty, man.
Yeah. I think the fantasy thing really worked. I mean, it can't get any more cliffhanger. I guess it could have. It could have somehow worked out that two people had contestants in tomorrow night and the winner took it all. But basically, this was cliffhanger.
Man, what a freaking amazing thing. Yeah.
And drafting is a lot of fun too.
Yes. That, as always with fantasy, right? Which is, I think, what overall will really make the product work, if we can build it, So, guys, if you're watching this right now, if you're a developer, hit us up. We need help developing and building this product affordably so we can roll it out to folks. It's going to be fun. So, yeah, get us word however you want. Your social media of preference, probably the easiest way. Just ping us on there. We'll get in contact. Meanwhile, Manchicutioner says, it'll make your mouth on fire like Smaug. Exactly. He needs to have a hot sauce. Our sponsor, D-Lab, needs to have a hot sauce named after Smaug.
The carrot merchant.
The carrot merchant Maggot. Slay.
He's a mushroom merchant. He's a mushroom merchant, isn't he?
Yeah, and carrots. Because Pippin and Mary were stealing all kind of produce from him. Primarily mushrooms, though. That's the Hobbit's favorite. Yes. I'm hearing some sort of woofers. Are those...
Nope, it's kiddos.
Nice. I thought they were Farmer Maggot's hounds from the grave.
That's about like that.
Nice. Well, like we said before, everyone, please make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Tune in. Stay tuned, even after the closure of this tournament, because, again, we are only getting started here in the Chamber of Death. Any last word from our panelists? Guys, appreciate you joining. Any last words before we log out?
Check out the website.
See you tomorrow.
Look forward to more.
Door.
Well said, Patty, man. Yep, and we're not quite done yet. We will be here for one final fight tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern Time, with apologies to our friends in the UK. As I was mentioning last night, we did get a comment on social like, hey, you guys are quote-unquote marketing in the UK, which I guess is true because of the way that, if you boost a post on Facebook or Insta to the UK, it does get them words and it shows up in their feeds and all that cool stuff. All good, but then when we talk about the streams, as we're doing now, they can't, it's like, I don't know, 1 a.m. out there already. So it's difficult for people to watch. But we feel you, UK. We hope you're watching the recordings later. They're all on YouTube. Go to MiddleEarthMadness.com for all the links and the featured fights. We curate, some of the best fights of the tournament on the events page. So hit up the events page, MiddleEarthMadness.com. We got links to all the edited fights on YouTube. They're, usually 1 to 4 minutes long. If they're super epically epic, they'll be 5 minutes long. So, but then, yeah, good way to catch up on all the fights you have missed. Guys, what have I forgotten?
I think that covers the bases.
Good. So we can't say it enough, man. Thanks again to the panelists for joining. Tons of fun this tournament. And it's not the last tournament. So we'll be back soon. When is soon? TBD. So another reason to stay tuned to all your feeds. And to everyone watching, thanks for participating. Thanks for dropping comments. Thanks for joining in the irreverence and the fun here in the Chamber of Death. And with that, until the next battle, which is tomorrow night for the championship, remember, as Professor Tolkien says, you can only come to the morning through the shadows, and where there is life, there is always hope. You are never out of the fight.